Over the last few months, a virus has grabbed our attention. How does a virus work? It's a pretty amazing thing. Something from outside of our body, something pernicious and harmful, somehow manages to get its way in, and then it becomes a part of our body, overtaking our existence, holding us back from breathing, becoming one and becoming a negative piece inside of us, hurting us, and potentially even killing us. In order to beat the virus, the body has to struggle to figure out a way to detach it, to literally kill a piece of ourselves and get it out from within inside you. What's interesting is this phenomenon is not only true when it comes to a virus. It's not only a physical being, but there's potential viruses that are spiritual and emotional, and that they can become a part of us so deeply that we have to work hard to beat ourselves in order to free ourselves from it. Tomorrow's holiday, the holiday of Shavuot, gives us a beautiful example of this that we can learn from. And of course, I'm referring to Megillat Ruth. At the outset of Megillat Ruth, the family of Naomi suffers tremendous tragedy. Naomi, a fine, upstanding woman, God-fearing, loses her husband and her two sons, and all the wealth that came with them. And she has to return from a faraway land and come back to the town that she knew, that she used to be a popular, well-known, powerful, prominent person, and she's not anymore. And when she's greeted, Naomi has an incredible statement that she makes to her neighbors and her friends and the people that knew her. And she says, Al tikrena li Naomi, no longer call me Naomi. Krena li Mara, call me Mara. Mara means bitter. Naomi means sweet. Don't call me pleasant and sweet anymore. Call me bitter. Ki hemara shadai li ma'od. Hashem embittered me greatly. Ani mele'ah halachti. She says, I went out full. Berekam heshivani Hashem. And Hashem returned me empty. And what we see here is that a virus, the virus of bitterness, has taken over Naomi. Naomi had tremendous setbacks. We don't want to belittle them. They are real. They are serious. But they were external. But Naomi allowed those external setbacks to get inside of her, so much to the point that it took over her identity. She said, no longer call me pleasant. No longer call me sweet. Rather call me bitter. Because my identity now, because of all the struggles and the way that I've internalized them, they've turned me bitter. I am now bitter. Don't call me sweet. The virus took over Naomi. The virus of bitterness, the virus of difficulty, the virus of not believing that I can succeed and that I can be happy. But a pretty amazing thing the Tanakh does is, even though Naomi says, change my name, and often in the Tanakh, when we have a name change, the name changes. Not here. Right after this, the Tanakh continues to call her Naomi. And even the people who Naomi said, call me Mara, at the end of the story of Megillat Ruth, when Ruth has a grandchild, the people that she said, call me bitter, she told them, call me bitter. What do they say? They say that a child was born to Naomi. It seems like it didn't get accepted. Naomi, even though she felt that way, somehow something changed. Something happened. She didn't stay Mara, she stayed Naomi. And I think there's a very powerful lesson as to what happened and why. You see, Naomi really felt this way, and Naomi really could have succumbed to being a bitter person. But something very significant changed in her outlook and her approach, and that changed in the results. And what was it? What changed was that Naomi stopped focusing on herself and she looked at Ruth. You see, as long as Naomi looked at herself and she said, Ani mele'ah, I was full. Rekam heshivani, Hashem emptied me, Hashem returned me empty. As long as she was focused on herself, she was bitter and she couldn't get it out. But once she looked at Ruth and she saw the problems that Ruth had, and she stepped in to try and help those problems, Naomi remained Naomi. She could be sweet. She could be pleasant. And this teaches us a very powerful lesson, that if we're at risk of becoming down, of becoming bitter, of becoming hurt, and it infecting us and it ruining who we are, look to other people. Not to commiserate, not to say, my problems could be worse, my problems could be like that person, but rather to find a way to step in and help. When you can focus on another person's problems for the better, for the betterment of that other person, then you can remain true to yourself. And you can make sure that the problems that you have, the difficulty that you have, the bitterness that you might have, not infect you and not completely ruin who you are. So let's learn this lesson. It's a very important thing, especially during difficult times where there's lots of hardships, physical, familial, financial, and more. It's important for us to remember we can overcome these things. We can do these things. We can make sure that we don't get down and we don't get bitter. And the way to do it is to look around and find someone else who has a problem. And there's plenty of people around who we can help. And if we can reach out and help other people, we'll maintain the special character of who we are. Tizku l'shanim rabot.